Okay.
Here we are.
We are well, this guy is an aficionado. This is Zach Ball, CEO of Flip and innovator. Innovator of everything. There's nothing that you don't build, really. Like you always got some kind of, what was that thing? I went to your house and you had it was like a permanently frozen ice cube or whatever.
I got ice cubes. I got hoverboards. I got muscle motors. I've got.
It's dangerous sometimes, but
I've got perpetual energy creation machines. It runs the gamut. But my big thing is Flip, and I think Flip is badass.
Flip is.
I love it. Big fan of what we got going on there. It's one of my. I'm very proud of what we produced. Over the last, call it 10 years. I'm here to talk about this movement, and I think that we've got something that's going on. I've been paying taxes for a very long time. I'm in one of the highest tax bracket that are there, usually 30 to 35%. And I make between $200,000 to $400,000 a year, so my taxes are $30,000 to $60,000 a year that I pay. They get their cut.
They get their cut. I got to make sure I'm speaking into the mic. Can
you might want to move your mic up a little bit.
Yeah. Anybody chime in if you feel free. We're still running tech on this, so if you can't hear us,
can you hear me now? Maybe I need some earbuds.
Can you hear me now? Well, we do have those. We don't use them.
So I think really what we're dealing with right now, and what I really like about your movement, Vince, is that we don't have really a much set of accountability across the government, and it seems that they're spending money. State, we can take a look at very clearly of what the state's doing, which is great. But when you look at the federal spending government of like what they're doing, and it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. They're not doing the roads. They're not doing the bits and pieces of the stuff that we see, but they're doing rather foreign relations, which are falling apart.
Well, I mean, they've never. Well, not never. It's not never because people complain like there was never a good part of government. There was. I mean, in the Constitution, that's a beautifully written document, and that's all we the people is. It's let's do that. What they wrote. You know what I mean? Let's actually do that. But it like anything that becomes a behemoth, it eventually devours itself, and that's what's happening right now. Is that it's too big, and everybody's in panic mode. This thing's rolling too fast, and they're just fighting for their lives. So they're taking what they can.
Too many hands in the pie.
Desperate hands, like the desperate hands. This is not. These are not normal people.
But like the government, let's say they go pass a bill that some spending package. There's just so much bullshit that isn't even associated with the package.
What's they call it? Pork?
Yeah.
Right.
But that's what I'm
that's
talking
an
about.
old school term, man. That's an old school term.
That's what it's
right.
And it is old school. So it's not that politics are, this is Machiavellian politics, like the epitome of Machiavellian politics. Trump was that, you know what I mean? But everybody is now. I mean, now you got Weekend at Biden. You know what I mean? It's insane.
That can't be true.
Is
that true?
That's just
Weekend at Biden. Like
I'm like
Weekend
holy
at
shit,
Bernie's,
man.
and the guy's fucking dead. You follow me? Like, are they saying Weekend at Biden?
I was saying
no. That's what I said.
I was saying it when
I like Biden. I like him. I just don't think I like that guy.
I swear to God, there's
go
3
play
Bidens.
football or something.
There's 3 or 4 Bidens. I think there's 3 or 4.
Sometimes he's on Adderall, and sometimes
it's like, I mean, if you can tell by like his skin complexion,
it's true.
Like some days it's waxy, and then some days it's like, oh man, like look, you got some rosacea.
Yeah,
it's true. Shit,
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it's like sometimes you get badass Biden. I'm gonna fight for the country.
I'll knuckle you up, sucker.
You get Sleepy Joe. They called him out.
Yeah, they did.
Sleepy Joe.
Because he's sleepy. Fuck, man. Give that guy, let him sleep. I don't like.
Needs
No,
a kilo of
I don't
fresh
like how this
Colombian
machine-
No, let's
cocaine.
But look, you see it mirrored, like the way that our lives move. We're way too fast. It's survival, survival, survival. If I don't do this, here's this consequence. If I don't do this, that's what the government is. It's just a blown up version of us. Like Trump, blown up version of us. Everything that's happening is us, right? So it's only happening because we allow it. Literally, we pay them. You know what I mean? So we have the internet. This is
True.
something that we've never had in human history, and it'll be taken away at some point. Like in the way that we have it right now, we have the ability to come together and say we don't believe that we should be fighting our neighbors over fucking jobs. We think it's you, maybe. So we want you to listen to what we say for once, and then maybe if that doesn't work, then maybe we'll listen to you again. You know what I mean? But that's kind of the thing. Like it can't be. I respect what Bernie tried to do from within the system, but you can't. It's the adage. You can't solve a problem with the same level of consciousness that created it, right? So I mean, if you're in the system, it's going to engulf you at some point. So and we saw that. We saw what happened to him, but it's got to be people. We the people. They're not the people. We're the people.
Right.
So if we can come together over Kim Kardashian's ass and break the internet, if we can come together over fucking.
But you're not really coming together. You're only coming together on the internet. You know.
But you are really
And
coming
the thing
together.
is- I know, but the thing is, the lockdown just separated a lot of interactive social type stuff, you know, and people, you know, we were all separated from each other.
Yeah, I'm telling
You
you,
know?
man, the coronas. So as a business owner, right? What I witnessed, so I've had 5 offices up to date, right, since 1998. And what I've seen, Corona, like I've never seen such an impact on business as Corona did across my business. It shut my office down immediately. All my people were like, I would love to work from home. Everybody wants to work from home.
Right.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to
Yeah.
work from home? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
I can work half time and get paid the same amount of money. What?
Right.
Yeah, I'll take it.
But it also, like, you know, I'm not spending money on the daycare either.
Right. That's
you know, so it was
right.
beneficial. It's like I got the kids at home. I'm working. I'm saving
And
money,
look,
and I'm making money.
I extended to them the same lifestyle I live. Right. It wasn't odd to me as an owner to extend to my workers the same benefits that I've always lived as an owner, which is the ability to 3 p.m. I got to jump off. Nobody tells the boss you got to jump in from 3 to 5.
What you realize quickly is everyone's not an owner. They're not wired that way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. So therein lies the crux,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, come 9 o'clock, if I got to take a call from China, I take it.
Yeah.
They don't, right? So therein lies the difference. Where they're like, it's 9 o'clock. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
take that call.
I tell my guys, I'm like,
But-
man, I would
Yeah.
love to turn my phone off at 6. I would love it. I would
Yeah,
just
no.
nothing. Leave me
No.
alone. Can't do
No, I
it.
got calls at 10 o'clock all the time.
But yeah, and they want.
So back to coming together. So you had the lockdown, then you had the year after the lockdown where people were still fucked up. Everyone's wearing a mask. Everyone's social distancing. You have all this divisiveness because the government made sure that this corona and the vaccination divided the country with another fucking whatever the fuck. And you became more and more separated. And what I find very interesting, my stepbrother said this to me when I was in Colorado, and he was like, people won't even have normal conversations about politics without getting so worked up and so one-sided. Like the conversations aren't even happening a whole lot. It's all
It's fighting.
one or the other.
Everyone's in their defense mechanisms, and,
It's
and
like-
look,
Why?
well, why not? You know what I
No,
mean? Like,
why? No, why? Why?
they've been conditioned.
For a
We've been
side.
conditioned.
I don't know. It's weird because like You know,
Let's talk about two people and juxtaposition them, right?
Yep.
Bernie Sanders and Trump. Okay. I can't pick more two opposite people.
Right. And
Okay.
they're pretty
Let's
opposite.
juxtaposition those two people and discuss that and realize that the two of them want the exact same goal, which is what's best for the American people.
Right.
Okay. They have determined that. But there's these, I'll call them sects, sects, sects of people in which that have joined a camp, like a weird camp,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And for some reason,
That's
I
what
don't- I
happens
don't
when
know
shit
what
gets
the
crazy.
hell happened. I don't know what happened. How did we come to the point where it's like, oh, you're a Bernie fan? I hate you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If I'm a Trump guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
right.
Like somehow
It's
we
like
reached this
It,
weird
it was
point.
inevitable.
but they all start to grandstand on one issue and they make it their own. And in that one issue, it's like you get this collective that just stands for this one issue, but they lean a particular way. And then what you have is all these separate issues with their own little collective. And it goes both ways.
But this,
you know?
this is why it's got to be the people, because greed only has one solution to its problem, right? Get more. That's all. That's the only solution. Get more.
Greed is the worst of the seven.
And it's not that every politician is corrupt. They're not. I know a lot. They're not.
They're not.
A
They're
lot.
trying.
I know a lot of these that when they were kids, they got into politics because they
Right.
thought they could change the world, and then
Right.
they get into the system and it fucking gobbles them up. So everybody that I've talked to supports We the People because it's truly nonpartisan. It's truly non-biased.
So let's talk about that.
Okay.
So here's the big thing that I have with We the People. So I'm in. Okay. I'm in. How do we get more people to join the movement?
I was going to ask you that. No,
Hold on. This is the question.
Power of the internet.
Here's here's the hesitation. How do you join something in which that has no meaning, right? Like I'm going to sign up to it, but it doesn't mean anything.
Well, then you missed the meaning because
no, just
your
hear me
dollar
out.
value.
You have to reach a threshold in which that all of a sudden the meaning
Right. Yeah. No,
It's
there-
there.
yeah, you're just signing up on the if come.
Right.
Yeah.
on the if come.
Yep.
And so what we need to do is we need to secure people's identity.
Well, that's
No, I'm telling you.
yeah. I mean,
that-
that's this right here. So, this was recommended to me by Kent Bull. I was trying to get him on tonight. He's probably disrupting cryptocurrency or regulated banks out in
Sure.
Nigeria or something. But he gave us the technology for self-sovereign identity blockchain voting.
Right.
So it individualized it. He's out there putting.
Right. It
I
makes
hope he's all
perfect
right.
sense. Listen, that makes perfect sense. If we tied blockchain to voting, that's the purple finger.
Why is it not? You know what I mean? Like, you were talking
Why
today
would
about
you
the.
stick your
so the
finger in a
Liberty-
purple
the-
dip? You
the
know what I mean?
Liberty
Like I
monks that-
voted.
The Liberty monks that did their podcast on Saturday, the sheriff they had on there, man, he was like, fuck that, because like they want
talking about what?
talking about like any kind of computer, anything counting a
Mm.
ballot and anything.
You got to step into this
They want them
millennium.
all hand counted. And then
Yeah.
I was like, well, who are you going to trust to hand count
Uncle
all
Jed.
all these ballots?
I trust
you know?
Uncle Jed. He
Right.
counts every year.
I was like,
He's a good
I
counter.
was honestly, I was like, listening to
He
this
can
podcast. I'm
count.
like,
He
I'm
knows
like,
the
this can't
count.
be
He
right.
can count compound fractions.
I was like, this can't be right. I was like, like, don't be doing any early voting because that's the quickest way for
Uncle
voter
Jed.
fraud right there.
Uncle
You know?
Jed's got it covered.
I was like, man, I was like,
That is, and that's what we're living. That's the most asinine thing I can hear come out of. Look, I don't understand. I understand a little bit about blockchain, and I know how hard it is to falsify that. Right? I don't know it like you know it, and I
I
don't
know
know
it.
it like Tom.
I know it
Tom
very
Beals
well.
is coming on soon. I don't know it like he knows it. That
Yeah.
motherfucker knows it. Like
Yeah.
he's, you know what I mean. So like,
it's you can't get past. So look, man, encryption. Let's talk tech for a second. encryption, right? And so we've had numerous levels of encryption throughout the years. I've been through level 0 to level, call it 10 today. We're still not there because the AI computers can crack right through our encryption. Like
Really?
yeah, absolutely.
Like nothing.
100%. Like nothing. Like snap your
That's
finger.
valuable.
Sorry.
Valuable
Look into
information.
it. I'm not making it up. Anyways, SHA to reads all these different encryption methods in which that we've put together do not hold up and can be cracked. Every single one
But
of them.
not blockchain.
Blockchain can get cracked
Can
at
it?
some point.
Has it been?
No,
That's yeah.
no.
You're surmising that because it's AI and it will compute.
It'll get there.
It'll be tough. From what I understand, it'll be tough. Even second layer technology.
Because it's always moving. It's always,
Yeah.
kind of in this weird,
It's
like,
quantum. You know what I mean?
maybe.
It really is. It's a probability. Like that's what the universe is. It's probabilistic. And people have resisted that since Newtonian physics. You know what I mean? And they still resist it when they know, quantum physics says that we exist as a wave and a particle. You know what I mean? Like, deal with it, man.
I'm just thinking about, like, I have no opposition to cryptocurrency. It's more secure than our currency.
It's scary though.
It's more secure than our currency.
Mm-hmm.
It's more predictable. It's more everything. Hands down. It's scientific. You don't need to, if you
It's
if
not
you
a
don't
Ponzi scheme like the Federal Reserve.
if you don't believe it, then you're not believing truth.
Right.
So that's that, right? So I don't need to argue that, I hope. But when you think about the hesitation, okay, consumer confidence is a thing. Like, think about, like, consumer confidence. Like, it's a factor, right? They call it a thing, consumer confidence.
It is.
Right. And so if the consumer confidence is low, then people don't buy.
Right.
Amazon, Walmart, Target, Meyer, whoever.
So you're touching on something.
Right. But if confidence is high, you're going to spend because you got money in the bank. You're going to spend it because you know money's going to come back in. It's called your confidence level, right? But if you think in the next 3 months you got no money coming in, guess what? You're not buying a goddamn thing.
You ain't confident.
Nothing. So consumer confidence really is the main factor we always need to kind of focus on. And confidence right now is at kind of a weird, like,
I'm so glad you said that, because that's what this is. This ticker. So our first step, we're doing it in steps. The ticker, the national ticker, the board that everybody's name will be on, that it'll just be flicking by in real time. There's a dollar value that you are equated for.
Yeah.
They
have
so
it.
you're worth that.
Yeah.
So when we come together on this ticker and we see the power that we have, like, it's 10. The reason we want to get to 33 million on the ticker, it's roughly 10% of the population.
Let's talk
Well,
about.
this is voter. This is not voter. This is buyer confidence, because think of the power we wield when we say, look, we like government. We don't want overreaching government. This wasn't the government that the Constitution said we should have. We want government that handles our safety. You know what I mean? Like our hospitals. That, like, we don't want government. So we don't need you intervening in every aspect of our lives. But we believe that there should be order, right? Like let's all agree to that. We agree there should be police and there should be order. But you can't like, the thing that blows. I don't know how we let it get this far. You know what I mean? Like how we let them lock us down like this. It's insane to me that
you're stuck.
yeah, I can't even.
You're stuck. There's no out of the system.
No, but there is. But this is it. So we've never come together. We've never come together, and we've never wielded our power.
So, all right. So,
And that's what the board.
so let's get real for a minute. Okay. So I don't agree with anything that happened on Jan 6. Nothing. Okay. This is not at all how I would approach anything. But they were pissed.
Yeah.
When I say they, you know who I mean.
Yeah. Yep.
Pissed. They said the exact same thing you said and are saying right now, and took to the point
But
of
that's not,
putting guns in.
that's
their
not
arms.
real power. That's fake power. Violence is fake power. All it does is beget more violence. Nobody who. That's why we're still in this shit,
Yes.
because people keep doing this dumb shit.
But what are you gonna do? Like,
I'm
so
not
you-
going to do a
no,
goddamn
no, I'm not
thing.
saying you, but so
Yeah.
January 6th, you go running with guns. What you gonna do?
Nothing.
Shoot up all the senators,
Nothing.
shoot up the House of Representatives.
They-
Like,
do this.
like, what's your plan? You know, like what
okay,
was the
so
plan?
did you see?
Yeah.
Did you
What was
see
the plan?
Listen, so what a fucking joke.
It had to be.
What a fucking joke. I mean,
I
seriously,
don't want to bash.
guys.
You know.
No, listen, it was a joke. They had their Jan 6 meetings, I don't know, 2 months ago. And they're like, ba, 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 Trump, 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 Trump. And it was like this big thing that they tried to like, oh, did you see that he grabbed some woman by a
But-
pussy?
But hey,
You know, like,
let's not.
like-
Let's not poo-poo on them,
No,
you know,
listen,
because we need
right,
them. We
no,
want
listen.
them. We want them
and
here.
so then they come back out and they're like, it's gonna come back out. There's a whole nother session coming out in October. It just happened. Do you know how lackluster that proceeding was? I watched the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing. I sat there
It's all smoke and mirrors.
thinking
Gene.
to myself,
Nobody's going to jail.
something's
Nobody's.
gonna happen. And they're like, he ain't going to jail. Ain't nothing gonna happen. This is a big fucking show of nothing.
Well, they're
and-
feeding the people. They're feeding the people. Hey,
Just
look, we're
giving
doing
a bunch
something.
of garbage.
Right, because let's just be real. Like, your media needs to get paid too.
I'm done with it.
But,
I'm
but
done
let me
with
get back to the point. So we're not talking about grabbing guns and fighting a fight we can't win. I don't look. I'm for the Second Amendment.
Listen,
but if the
they
government
were
wants,
they were one person away from taking over our government.
no, they weren't. They were going to take over our
Mike
government.
Pence had Mike Pence bullshit.
They weren't
Mike
going to.
Pence agreed with whatever the fuck was going on.
This is where I
We
have to
have
believe
a
in the will of
much-
the people. I mean, and this is
much
what this is
bigger
about.
appetite.
I see. I'm a different kind
You
of person.
go do
I'm
s-
not a
but,
Trump
but, but
supporter.
the thing is, you go do something like that.
But
you
we're
have
that
Mi-
close.
You have Mike Pence, you know, let's say he, you know, verified whatever. All like you have one side. Like the one thing about the lockdown and all those stimulus checks, we all went and got guns. We all went and got guns and a bunch of ammo.
I didn't. I got a website.
And I'm not and I'm
I
not
did-
talking about
I
just
did
with,
too.
you know,
I got a
I did
website.
too.
I got a website. that says, how about we try this?
blue and
Come to
red.
my house.
Blue and red and
Come to my
independent, it
house.
doesn't matter. We all went because we were like, man,
It was sold out.
The
I
shit-
couldn't
yeah.
buy it, dude.
I should have left
AR,
that other
dude,
light in.
dude,
Just
two, two, three,
tech
man.
note.
223 ammo was like
Check
the
us out.
hottest commodity.
We the people.
Is anybody watching?
You know, we need a what's Joe's guy called? Jamie?
Yeah,
Jamie? Yeah,
Jamie.
Jamie.
Yeah.
We need a Jamie bad.
We're
We're hiring.
Maybe I'll get
how
the
many
kid.
how many
Yeah,
people are
I'll
watching?
yeah, for real. So anyway, on the We the People thing, this is not a violent movement. If it works, it'll be the first virtual nonviolent revolution the world has ever experienced. If you know what happened in Tahrir Square for the Arab Spring when they took it over, man, that's an oppressive regime.
It was
They took it over. They didn't have a
incredible.
plan.
that really it's super inspiring.
YouTube. They used YouTube.
Yeah.
That's what so, and that's Martin Luther King when he was doing this
He never had YouTube.
No, but
If
he
had
knew
you-
how to
if
turn the
Martin
cameras.
Luther had
Right,
YouTube,
right.
can you imagine?
Oh my God. Like, so what he knew where to turn those cameras and win. Like, when the power of the human emotion, he
Right.
got into that limbic system.
Yep.
And that's what this is. It's like, we're talking about, I don't ever want to shit on anybody. If you were at January 6th, great. You're still a person
Yeah,
in this country. You
absolutely.
deserve a voice.
And I love you.
Yeah.
Truth be told,
So
anybody that was
start
there,
We're
I
all
love-
Amerians. We're all
let's
Americans.
put
I
that-
wanted to
let's
be
take
there
that
too,
energy and throw it
but I
back.
wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. That
And it's
wasn't the
fine.
right way. And it's fine.
I think we might have.
I'm as
I think
frustrated as
we
you.
might have a
But the
solution.
thing is, like, people are too tired of like voting people in and voting people out based on
Corporate sponsorship.
the
Oh,
change, like
the
you know,
dollars
it-
have to go away.
it's
And
like-
I'm not
it's
bashing
like
corporations either.
No.
We need you
election, we
too.
get sold
We
a bill
need-
of goods,
we do.
and it
Yeah.
sucks.
But here's the thing.
I'm a corporation. Fuck.
Listen, I liked your idea, Vince. I really did like your idea a lot about the idea of candidates should have the same amount of money regardless of who they are. We could call them Trump, Bernie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cap the finance spend.
just-
Citizens United said
Yeah.
money's free speech. Well, we
Yeah,
say
no.
cap the finance
Yeah,
spend.
just cap it.
What I
You
said on
can't
there is
represent a candidate, okay, secondarily, and say so and so loves such and such,
Right.
sponsored by Americans for
Yeah.
fairness.
Budweiser.
Yeah,
No,
Americans for
look,
Budweiser.
we separate church and
Americans
state.
for organic hops.
We separate church and state. Politics.
Organic gods.
Organic hops.
I love it.
We separate church and state. Politics and profits should be separated.
Yeah.
Look, if you win the candidacy and to the victor goes the spoil, that's great. Your goods and service, I'm fine for lobbying goods and services. My goods and services are better than theirs,
Right.
But not bribes. Like, that's slimy.
Right.
So we gotta put the cap on the finance spend. And that's where it all trickles down from there. There's other things we got to get we got to have
So now- but now
limit.
Now you got to go into like taking power away from like Musk and Bezos.
No,
because
No,
they're
no, let's talk about this. Keep going. I want to
because
hear.
I
it.
think all the major players and the largest corporations, they're the ones dropping the loot.
Okay, so let's talk about that. If they have the money, let's look at Bezos.
Let's
Let's
or
look
Bob.
at Musk.
No, I
Doesn't
got a
matter.
better one. I got a better one. Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Let's
Oh my
use
God!
Gates.
I was gonna say let's go with Gates. Okay, so he's got a foundation that he donates, blah blah blah, to such and such, turning turds into water. Okay, like I've seen documentaries. The guy turned turds into water in Africa.
Beat that, Jesus. I mean, this is
Not
fucking
water
brilliant.
into wine, turds into water.
Right.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It is.
It is.
I
It's
mean,
super
that's
cool.
brilliant.
And they made a machine that turns turds.
You
into
know, we
water.
need innovation always.
But like, he's gonna always be throwing down billions to persuade whatever
no,
candidates are running.
So
No.
here's the
No.
thing.
Policy.
no.
How much?
Oh, come
Have you
on.
ever seen Gates? The guy. Look at the guy. Have you ever seen? So when he got his first deal and he's up on the stage dancing, that he got his thing. Did you see the guy dance? He's like, he looks like
Do you know why people
the
put
guy
money in
out of, like,
politics?
The Peanuts.
Do you know why people put money in politics? Because it does something.
He-
If we make it not
He's
do
not
anything, they'll stop
confident
putting
enough.
money there and they'll start trying to attract
Oh, he's
people.
He's not people.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying?
Oh,
He's just he's whatever. But
he's trying to inoculate everybody.
No.
dude, I'm
No.
if we take the money out of politics, just take it out of the pool. It's not something. If you get into it, you're passionate, you want to change something. Victor goes to spoils. Great. There's no money in it. You're not gonna. Great. Your book deal. I'm all for that. But you got to take the money out of it. It can't be. You can't be servicing these lobbyists So when you take the money out of politics, these companies are going to have to attract people another way. It's
Right.
not going to be by bribing the politicians. So if you take it out,
Right.
it's going to service the economy.
That's it.
That's and then so
And that's fucking it right there.
and you know
nailed
that takes more work. You know what I mean? Sorry, fuckface, but you got to work to impress people, you
gotta actually
dumbass.
work to impress people.
And that's all we're doing. If we cap the campaign finance
Too much work for 'em, though.
and fuck them, there's 1%.
Oh, God forbid I have to work for my fucking
No,
contracts.
I know,
You're
I know,
right.
but I'm just saying.
I work every day. for
I'm
my
just saying.
contract.
I'm just saying. The politicians, they're gonna want to work that hard. They barely.
No,
work.
it's not even the
They-
politics. You know how many people support this?
There's-
And I can't
there's
even say the names
lobbyists,
because
dude.
they're.
I mean, I think
The
lobbyists have-
politicians don't do shit.
the lobbyists have always
do the
been.
work for the
I know, but the
politicians.
lobbyists have always been the problem. Lobbyists
All
have always been the problem. Special interests,
I mean, they are a problem. Yeah.
You know?
But what's
AARP
The fact
bats
that
their
it's-
eyes and gives some money.
the fact
and-
that it's allowed makes it a problem. Like people are just doing what they're. It's like a kid. You tell a kid you can hey, you can smoke weed on Fridays. They're gonna smoke the fuck out of some weed on Fridays, probably. You know what I mean? And they're gonna push it until that's not allowed. Okay, I'll stop. You know what I mean? So we've been inching along and giving and giving and giving. And it's our fault. Like I'll take full responsibility for something that I couldn't take responsibility for, but I can say that maybe I was complacent. You know what I mean? Maybe I got a little comfortable, in my own fucking run out of poverty. You know what I mean? So
Look, here's what it was.
it's not my fault completely, but
30% taxes is too high.
it's way too.
Way too high.
Well, I mean,
mean,
it depends.
No.
It does. It depends.
Look, I mean,
Proportionately,
No.
I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
every dollar you make, I'm gonna take 30 cents.
yeah.
What fucking margin?
but
What margin? What business?
look, no taxation without representation.
what business can you operate?
Zach, no taxation
that
without
level
representation.
of
This is what this is
I've owned my
about.
own businesses
They're not
before.
representing
I've been 1099, and I know how it all works, and it sucks.
We're paying
But
them.
like, the thing is, you're taking out. They're taking out so much money.
30%.
30%. Like, I don't mind.
30.
I don't-
I always think 33.
Like, so
Always in my head.
they do the they're gonna take your Fed, and then they're gonna do the Medicare, and then they and
fucking
yeah.
all of
And
it.
whatever they want.
I run it every
So,
fucking
like,
year. I run
right.
it every
So
year.
like you have to
And I pay
bring
my
it down.
bill.
Now we're gonna take a
You-
named storm tax.
You do the best you can. You
but that's
got-
control. That's
uh,
the thing. That's
Berkshire and half a mirror, whatever. Hathaway.
Yeah.
you
this
think that
fucking
the government
asshole,
doesn't
this
want
guy.
the control? Keep them working like a motherfucker. That's their idea.
Well,
know?
And
Let's there. I think the government's idea is like make sure
so let's
low
talk about
income
we
people
know
stay
what the-
low income people.
We
They
know
don't
what the
need no
problem
more
is. We know what the problem
need
is.
no
Let's talk about
government.
the solution. There's a solution. The
Fair enough.
the
enough.
solution is put 33 million of us on a fucking ticker, voting Americans that say we believe in government, but we believe you should listen to us. We believe that our tax dollars
It's
should be
our-
representative of
By
our
the people,
community.
for the people.
And it's real simple shit. It's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
If you read, everybody should read that fucking. When I read it, it was about 6 months ago. I went back
Just
and read.
go to the
I was like,
homepage. Just go to the homepage.
I don't want to get to it. Like,
go to the homepage.
oh yeah. But I mean, like I got teary eyed. I'm like, this sounds like a great place because we didn't do it right. You know what I mean? But that's okay. It was written knowing we wouldn't do it right. So let's get back to basics. We the people. That means everybody. All right. For the first time in American history, everybody is fucking on level ground. Corporations, wealth doesn't have any more say
We're all
than the
We're
people.
all people.
Yeah, and when you service each
defined as
other,
such.
what's that?
Defined as such. Here's the thing. So check this out. By law,
We got off the solution though.
no, it's fine.
Yeah,
By law, the corporations are defined as individuals. You, me. Okay. A corporation, Apple, Microsoft,
right. Yeah.
Facebook, they're considered a person.
Yeah.
And treated as such. God damn it. if fucking Facebook made that much money, you're gonna pay. I'm sorry, man, but you're gonna pay.
It's here's the thing. Like, even if you're sitting in that position, if I'm Zuckerberg, fuck, I don't want my money going there either because they're not spending it right.
You made
You
a
guys-
billion, you should be
No,
paying 300.
you guys-
No, but here's
you
the
know,
thing: they're not spending it right. It's the fucking government. We gotta change this shit. We gotta take the greed out of politics. If they were spending it right, I got no problem getting 33%. I got
But
no problem.
The thing is, this has been an evolutionary thing throughout time. The government has gotten greedier and greedier over time.
That's
And now you're asking them like, well, fucking, we got to end it now. They're going to be like, fuck you.
right. They're good.
And
Now they're gonna get scared. Oh, we
Right.
better get what we got.
and the population and the citizens are like, man, I'm struggling, and the thing is, like, I just find it all this fuckery is like, you raise wages like a motherfucker, and then the inflation rate goes up, and you
Yeah.
blame it on COVID, and it's all this
Inflation.
bullshit,
Inflation.
and everyone's still
fuck?
not getting
Hey,
ahead.
inflation. Listen, let me just make a bold statement.
Okay. I
Okay.
made it in fucking my
hold on.
freshman macroeconomics class.
No income has changed.
No.
No outcome has
Almost
changed.
worse. Almost worse.
It's 86% of the American
No
population
income
lives
has
paycheck to
changed.
paycheck.
No income has changed. No outcome has changed. No, nothing has changed. Yet inflation
86% of the American
has
population. That's
fucking
changed.
raised and doubled. Yet my mortgage went doubled.
So some things have changed. So
Right.
now the
You
country.
hear
Yeah.
me?
Oh, I'm
I-
hearing you.
listen,
I'm hearing you.
I'm not working anymore.
You
A
used
loaf
to have
of bread tripled.
Yeah.
You
Like,
used
what
to
the fuck?
What the fuck?
you
a
used to have a
loaf of
breadwinner.
Pound of ground beef.
Yeah. no,
$5.99.
I just want fucking
Are you
rice.
out your fucking
I
mind?
just want rice.
Come on, man.
Look,
It's all part of the
I
system
can't fucking.
plan.
I can't put up with it anymore.
I feel you.
Ah, this is the thing. Those politicians are buying rice.
so let's fucking stop. You know what I mean? Like,
They're going out to dinner every night
this is how this movement looks. So you sign up,
or buying a gallon. of
you sign up,
gas.
you're on the ticker. You're on the
That's okay.
ticker. Every day, the feds, we're doing this in plain view. We're not trying to hide this from anybody. We're trying to show them, because I don't think they know even. Like, when they see us compiled and they see the people joining the movement and what their dollar value is, to them, that's scary. It shouldn't be scary. It should be like, oh, maybe I should pay attention. Like they pay attention to the corporations, because we
fill your fucking gas tank up.
listen to me. We are the corporations. We work there. We are the fucking people. So if we, the people, say it should be a different way, we better fucking make it a different way. And if we don't, that's our fucking fault. And I'm not. That's why I did this whole thing, is because I'm not standing on a
So-
bread line in 15
so
years
we
and telling my
just-
daughter fucking that
I want to give you an idea.
First of all, you got to calm the fuck.
No,
down.
no, I'm not. There's
I want
no
to give you an
comment.
idea. I
There's
want
no
to give you an
comment.
idea. So what happens if all the communities pulled their resources for a little bit and decided to not go to work for a month?
Whoa.
All of them.
Whoa.
Look, listen to this. Listen, where I was going with this.
Really like
So
that idea.
no, listen to this. 33. These
really
numbers
good.
aren't pulled out of my ass.
That's really
33
good.
million
That's how
is
you
10% of the
unite.
population.
That's how you
33
unite.
million is 10% of the population. Based on our daily average spend, we take $56 billion in 1 month of stepping away. 1 month. So here's the thing. Like, so we say, look, listen to me.
It'll at least make an impact.
We say, look,
yeah.
when we get all of these people, everybody, I don't care who the fuck you support. I don't care if I hate your candidate. I don't hate anybody. I try not to. But it doesn't, your voice matters. So that's all that matters to me. I want you heard, even if it's to dislike you. I got that right. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be corporations that are drowning out the voices of other people.
Can't
Like,
take it anymore.
I want to fucking hear.
I can't take it.
So at 33 million, we take $56 billion a month from the feds, from the feds and the corporations that support them.
Yeah.
That's power. That's real power. That's not running to the Capitol with a fucking gun and getting your ass in prison power. That's power.
It kind of is.
Because
If you think about it, you're kind of coming in with a gun.
but no, you're not. You're just not buying. You're saying, I don't like,
It's not buying.
I don't like what I'm
Yeah.
just not buying anymore. We're
Yeah.
done buying. We're not consumer. This is consumerism. We're
Right.
fucking done, motherfuckers. You know, like
Yeah.
we're done.
But
Imagine
then
this.
let's go back to the psychological piece of that. You have a population out there that needs the newest iPhone, that needs all the jewelry and all the bullshit and all.
Didn't COVID break us enough? You know what I mean? Like,
But there's
take
people
that.
that have the resources that still. I need my
It's
image
still
to be
wrong.
maintained.
then they're
with
not
the
the
newest
people.
shit.
We only need 10% of the population to make
time.
this work.
Right, Sean.
We only need 10% of the population to make this work. Then they're not the people, right? They're
Yeah,
other people.
exactly. They are not.
They're
people.
other people. They're
not
consumers.
That's the 1, 2, 3%.
Yeah, and that's fine. They can be that. You know, we just need 10%. We get 10%, we make an impact. And we make an impact not by violence, not by berating people, not by anything, just saying, oh, you don't want to take the greed out of politics? We're just not going to buy from you anymore.
Could you imagine
Fucking
having,
done.
like, cookouts for a month with like a block party? For
Listen,
a whole month.
One day, so we got 33 million people on. Listen to what I'm saying. We got 33 million people on that ticker. We drop a fucking executive order that we'd like old Bitey to take to fucking, and we say, hey, campaign finance spend. Could you do that? I don't know if I want to. All right, I need 10 million volunteers to stop going to, you know, Walmart tomorrow. Watch that fucking number. Watch that fucking number. In a day, the impact you have if you come together. You got to fucking come together. But if we don't come together, it ain't happening. That's the only, we own this motherfucker. And if we don't come together,
Right.
then
Right. And by the way, if we didn't have social media, I would say you're crazy.
right.
I would. I would say, I'd be like, you're fucking nuts. 100 years ago,
You just can't get
100
there.
years ago on a pony.
That's
on a
witchcraft.
pony,
Or, man,
yeah.
you'd be on
That guy's
a lot
a
of
witch.
stages. A lot of stages.
The way that we vote our president in. Think how we can have congressional.
The fucking
Electoral
electoral college. There's actually
joke.
yeah. Well, you know,
was
it
because we had
became
ponies.
it became a joke. The intent was
That's why it came together.
Yeah, and
Because
now-
you had to bring the votes in by pony.
And the thing is that particular electoral college don't necessarily need to vote in the same way that
We have wires now,
you know.
guys.
So
real time.
Wires.
yeah.
So
they
in
can do whatever they want.
in this little
Tesla, a man named Tesla did something
Right.
for us.
in this I don't know what you'd call it. There were 7 guideposts, I guess you'd call it, that I wrote, and one was in each of the 1900, I think it's 1920 some incorporated places, meaning cities, villages, whatever. Each one has a tax equanimity representative. That person gets one vote in real time. You know what I mean? Like, so before the feds can push anything, everybody gets a fucking vote. Every representative, I don't care if you have 20 people in that city or if you or the village or you know what I mean? You get a vote. And that's going to show the real will of the people. It's not going to, there's so much of the
I'm gonna say
population
one
that gets
thing.
left
I'm going to say one
by the
thing.
wayside.
I'm going to say one thing. With all the stuff that we're talking about right now, you really need to focus on like unraveling a lot of social conditioning.
Well, and we that's why it's
I
in
mean, a
steps,
fuck
because
ton.
that's why we haven't even talked about that part, because, well, fuck, can we get 33 million people to put their name on the ticker and say, we don't want money. We don't need your money. We don't need your information. We just need your name to know you're a tax-paying citizen. You join the website and then we'll send you some shit and you'll probably like it. You might not.
There's a problem there.
What's that?
There's a problem. This is like, this is the thing. This is what I want to talk about today.
I thought you were talking about, earlier.
Yeah, you can't ask for people's permission on something that's not real.
This is
Hear me out.
this is real to me. I don't know how it's not real to you. This is fucking real. It's now or never.
It's either now or never.
Yeah, that's fucking real. Like,
Okay, so we need MAGA.
we need what?
We need to get the support of both sides.
Yes, all sides, like all the fledgling parties. How the fuck did that happen? It's my energy. I'm fucking shit up. That was Rude Jude's ghost. Anyway, fucking It's just tablecloth. Anyway, we
Matt,
need the support of everybody. We need, and the people that have supported it, eclectic as hell. There's Trump, Bernie, there's anarchists, there's people that hate God. All we're saying is we deserve to be heard. That's it. Nothing else. And look, you're allowed to differ in opinion with your neighbor. Like, that's okay. There's
I
nothing
love my
wrong with
neighbor.
that. You know,
I'll be
mean?
honest. Like, I'm telling you, like, think about it. I've never once in my entire life, I've disagreed with every single one. With every single neighbor, I disagree.
Well, you disagree with everybody.
It's fine.
It's fun.
But I love them as a person, and I appreciate them for their opinion.
You can walk away.
And go, yeah, I get where you came from. And
If you seek to understand, then you can see that there's a human there that derived
right.
at that point.
yeah,
You may not agree, but like what's
I'm
his
not-
name?
I'm
Shapiro,
not
Ben
offended.
Shapiro.
No, I know. It's just that's a real rosy picture, like
It doesn't
No,
have to
man.
be.
I'm just
Listen,
saying,
if
I know,
somebody's
no, I know,
listen,
I
if
know, but
somebody
yeah,
says,
but the thing
oh,
is,
so hold on.
you have
Somebody
people-
says to you, okay, like legit, this is crazy. Please, Sean, humor me. No abortions, rape, incest. I don't give a shit if a dog fucked her. Okay,
right.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
No abortion.
You
I've
tell her,
heard this
Cletus.
shit left and right.
Yeah.
I can't believe somebody would take that out. It's like, God, how
Right.
could you possibly say that? No exceptions.
Exactly. No exception.
No exceptions. Really? A dog? A dog.
That's what we're battling.
So like
against.
if
Your
my
uncle,
if my neighbor
your uncle fucked you.
so if my
and
neighbor
you-
said
and-
that
and
shit,
I said, don't say
so-
that on
so
air.
if my
Oh,
neighbor
sorry.
if my neighbor said that shit, I'm not gonna engage in a conversation about
Can I
that.
swear?
No, you can't.
I'm not, if my neighbor's spewing that, I'm not in alignment with that.
I get that, but
But
dude,
I don't want to have a debate about it. It just
You don't have to.
it's like, all right, man.
a
Nice,
dog,
nice talking with you.
a dog.
I'll make sure my cane corso
And then what
don't
are you
come on
supposed to
your
do?
yard no more.
So then moving forward, when you talk to the person that says it's okay to have a dog rape your child and you need to have that baby, okay, a
Right.
dog,
It's not that different
No.
from somebody saying that
Okay.
if
and then you need to talk to them moving forward about how they're cutting their grass.
Oh, that man, I don't got time for that.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have
it's
time
not
for
that
any of
different
You
from
learn how fucked up they are.
you know
No,
when
dude,
missionary
I talk to people all the time. I know.
when missionaries were going to these foreign places and trying to sell the church, they said there's no way to heaven but through Jesus. And if you talk to a real fanatic, they'll say, "Well, that Buddhist is going to go to hell." What the fuck?
That's
Where
so
did-
unfair.
how would? Oh my God! You believe
So
that?
unfair.
That's fucking crazy.
it's unfair.
That's what we're fighting against right now. It's what it is to be a real human, a person, right? We the people,
It goes back to
or what it
social
is to be a
conditioning, though.
fucking a soundbite.
Accept.
You're going back to social conditioning. You're gonna have to break the mind of someone that's been in a church for
Yeah.
30 or 40 years,
Told not to masturbate.
right? All that
Told-
stuff.
Told to be
You know,
ashamed.
Hindus and Buddhists
Yeah.
are going to hell.
To be ashamed. for
In 40
getting-
years.
getting
And that's what
burned.
we're up
So
against.
You're gonna
40
burn
years
in the
of
fire.
unraveling.
And you don't know that till you stick your neck out there and you
Yeah.
start seeing. You're like, "Oh shit! You think you really? What?
Yeah.
Fuck! Oh,
Better be putting some mushrooms
guess
in
I-
that wine.
I guess it's gonna burn.
Yeah, no, I mean it's insane. Like when somebody says that, well,
No.
but I sympathize
I
with it.
don't believe.
I sympathize. If that's
A
where you want to shut up
psilocybin
and you've got a
community.
good
I'm not
life and
gonna
you're a good
burn.
person, great.
I'm a good person. I'm not gonna burn.
No, and you're not. But it's what I have to do now when I hear some shit, as long as it's not in a way that would infringe on another person's rights to live, like abortion, like as long as it doesn't do that, you can have your opinion. Opinions are great. I like to talk about them. But if it victimizes somebody, then I got a problem with it. I got a fucking problem with it. And I got a problem with the way money victimizes people. My whole fucking life.
You know, it's funny that we're talking about all that abortion stuff. I'm interested to see how many women go out and vote in these next two elections.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be.
But vote for what?
I thought
This
I thought
two-party
every single
system is
pistol
shit.
pack of mama was gonna
Right.
come fucking like,
Listen,
And it didn't.
you know,
And
it
they
didn't.
didn't.
I mean, they got pissed. I mean,
No,
they,
I don't-
they showed up at the Kavanaugh's house and stuff.
no.
But I just thought it was gonna be a little bit more aggressive.
I don't disagree with people who don't want to vote. I mean, I think if you want to complain, you should go vote. At least do that so you can complain.
At least.
But it really, I mean, it does a little something. You know, you get the lesser of two evils. I don't know that since, I mean, I voted for Obama. I believed in what he was selling. I think he did too. And then he got caught
did
in the
too,
system.
man. I did.
But since him,
and fuck that system, because he might have been the greatest president that we've seen yet. But he
The
was
greatest
held
president.
back. I'm sorry.
the only
But
one,
he may have been the
the
greatest.
last one that stood up for the people got shot. John F. Kennedy. Then
I
it was
gonna say, I was going to say Clinton.
no, then it was military industrial complex, and then it was fucking corporations from then on out. Like that, it's been this steady build.
Clinton got his dick sucked, and
Did you
that's
read
where
that book?
the end of
Did you read that book by Oliver Stone?
Which one?
The one on JFK.
Yeah.
Did you read that
I
one?
did.
Where like pretty much that assassination like was an execution.
Yeah.
All the Bushes were there. Ronnie Reagan and all of his family was there. All the
I remember
hierarchies of all the Republicans were there
Yeah.
watching.
That's a whole nother show, bro.
I know, but when my
Yeah,
stepdad said that shit,
That's
I
a
was
whole
like,
nother
whoa,
show.
shit.
And on that note, we the people. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, no. Listen, let's
Good
talk
old
about,
Lyndon B. Round them up.
Yeah, Woodrow Wilson, when the industrial complex came into play, that was the beginning of the end. He made a speech when he resigned as president, and it was incredible. It's a 5-minute speech, and he basically said, "I have given up the gold system standard for the dollars and gone to the Federal Reserve," which was a huge mistake. We all agreed that that was a huge mistake, and he did it. It's the quote Fed is as federal as Federal Express. Like, they're not a federal organization.
No.
It's
No, and
federal.
there's nothing back in the currency. Like, you know what we
Nothing.
got back in currency? Nuclear bombs. That's what we got. That's what we got back in our currency. We're the fucking bullies.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need to be that. We can shift this if we can shift the government. Everyone's watching. I talk to people in my friends in foreign countries all the time. You know, you start to see the trend shift when Trump came in. Started to see it shift to more nationalist over there. They're like, oh shit, fuck, you know, it's Hitler, right? That's that mindset. Oh, nationalism. Now it's gonna. But Hitler took a page from our racist handbook, and that's where the propaganda came from in fucking World War II. Was from our fucking what we did with black people.
True.
It's fucking crazy. So there just has to come a point where people say, all right, the past is the past. I understand that you've been traumatized. I don't know what that feels like. I've been traumatized. I know what that feels like. And I know we can relate in where we've been traumatized, but I don't know your story. I just have to let you have it. And I'm going to, instead of fucking judging you, I'm going to ask you questions. And then maybe they become a human, right? And then maybe you can stand next to your, you know, Bernie and Trump neighbor. I got a lot of friends that don't agree with me. A ton of friends that I would die for. You know what I mean? Like, and they don't agree with me politically because I hate politics, but we're still friends. It doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? We can have that disagreement because I know they're humans. How do we make people human again? Not make America great again. Make fucking people human again. Fuck the corporations. We can't vilify them either. There's a place for everybody in this country if we just start getting back to the basics. The golden rule, motherfucker. Do unto others. Like, where did that get lost? And that's a rhetorical question. It's lost. Oh, you're just I didn't tell him you can't smoke in the studio. This guy, you're out. Security.
Right.
This fucking guy. Anyway,
I want to go back to what you were saying. So you start talking about people with trauma or any kind of mental illness, even regular folk, you need to understand that they have bought into the narrative in their mind that they've been holding onto for fucking their lifetime.
and it's not their fault.
It's not their fault,
No.
but then you're asking them to unravel it all in one fell swoop, like boom.
No, you can't. That's a fucking
You
shitty
know?
ask.
Right.
That's
So-
the problem.
So that's an obstacle.
Yeah.
It's an obstacle. I wouldn't say it's a problem. I'm just saying it's an obstacle.
I just went through it, and in the relationship, like, so here I am, advanced through my things, not completely. I'm a work in progress always, but then I want it to stop. I don't want to have to deal with that. That's a shitty ask to ask a person to fucking just drop all. They can't. It's not possible. I was there. Like I know what it took, the fucking pain and trauma that it took to get through that. And to ask somebody to just forget about it, it's kind of like when people say racism's over to black, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Don't tell them just forget about it. That's the thing of the past. The past, fuck, generational trauma is a real thing. Like we got to be more. There's things that hurt all of us, and if we can find those things in the other person, then we might be okay. Like instead of trying to say my trauma's better, more important than yours.
There was an old saying a long time ago that a recession is when your neighbor gets laid off. A depression is when you get laid off. Now, the meaning I think behind a lot of that is that there's competition within the struggle of trying to make it or just survive here in America.
Yeah,
for a majority of the population.
We're in a state of lack and
So
limitation.
it's like, I'm not going to let you take mine, and I'm going to protect it with whatever I got. But the lack and limitation and the energy and the low vibrational frequency that maintains and that holds on the planet, it's got to go. Right. It's unsustainable.
Everything you said, I'm telling you, America is falling way.
The world is, man. It's the world, America, but the world.
I'll give you the world. Okay, I'll give you. But America is specific.
America was the dream, and we're fucking that dream up right now. Is what it is. Like we were the dream, and then we fucked it up.
What was the dream?
The dream was freedom, not to be in a caste system.
But
you know what I mean? Like
freedom only applied to some.
What? No, fuck them. No.
Freedom only applied to the white man.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. We fucked it up.
So it really wasn't a dream.
We had an opportunity to fucking yeah, freedom, but then money, you know what I mean? Because it's really money, right? At the end of the day, it wasn't about any people. It was about
go out
money.
And make your own, or you do something unique. If you're not white, government come through, and I'm going to take that from you.
Yeah.
You just became a little too successful, a little too quick. That's ours now. Thank you, and
we got a
burn down your town too.
Real interesting one coming up on I think we're gonna do it on November 26th with the Act Now people. That's gonna be we get deep into racial conversations. They're uncomfortable but they feel good at the end because it's like, I didn't know that. Well, I didn't know that. And we're coming from a place of love, so you can get heated, you can cry, you can do whatever. You can walk out of it and feel like maybe I accomplished something. You know what I mean? Because nobody's fighting. Nobody's saying that my shit didn't happen to me the way I said it did, right? It did. What they say, what anybody says about how they feel, that's real to them. You know what I mean? Like,
I will bust that shit out one more time for you. If you ever want to read the Course in Miracles,
I've read some.
You are not your body.
You
are not your skin fucking tone. Inside that body exists a soul, a spirit. That is you. Your body is merely the fucking carrying case. And if you can't separate the two,
most people can't,
then you're going to struggle with all the cultural identity and the racism and the stereotypes and all of that stuff. You need to separate the two.
Well, and that's most.
Listen, hey, blue eyes, tall, male, easy.
Not easy. I don't got no privilege.
Imagine,
You know,
I
it's-
know.
it's funny. I want to go in. I want to go into that because people like
Me
to do
too,
that
I
white
wanna
privilege
go-
shit.
I'm going to.
I was.
I've had enough of
I had
this shit.
4 felonies
You've-
by the
you've
time
got
I
the
was
same
19.
color
I don't get
eyes.
job.
I
I
know.
don't get job.
Me neither. I've got the same color eyes as you, and for some fucking reason, because I have blue eyes, people for some reason think I got it easy. I don't.
Have you ever listened to a?
My eyes don't make a difference.
Have
Yeah,
you-
I get.
have
Yeah,
you
the
listened to
girlies tell me
African American
I'm cutie.
So like
That's as far as I get.
no. So here's the thing. When I've done a lot of criminal things, you know what I mean. I've gotten out of.
No, I don't.
I've gotten out of a lot of shit when I was transporting drugs
I don't.
internationally.
No, I
across
don't. Handsome white male.
What I'm saying is I've seen with my own eyes how so what people African Americans call white privilege.
Yeah,
It's
it's gotten out of.
well, it's just that if you pull me over in Denver and I got my kids in the car and you think my car's stolen, and you think you're gonna pull a fucking gun on me and tell my family to get on the ground, fuck you. Give me your badge number. I ain't getting shot, probably. You know what I mean? It ain't have fuck you. No, I ain't getting out of the car, motherfucker. That to a black person in America seems like privilege because they're scared. And the first time that resonated with me was when Jim Lee, the pastor at our church, told me his story about he's an executive, man. He was at IBM, and you know he's a professional, never done, not a criminal, not a thug, just a black man, living a good life. And whenever his heart would drop whenever he got pulled over because he didn't know if that was going to be his last day. That's fucking trauma. So to tell somebody that doesn't exist,
Bullshit. That shit happens to me too. When the cops fucking pull me over,
I didn't say it
my
doesn't
heart
happen.
drops.
I didn't
think
say
to
it doesn't happen to
myself,
you too.
I think to myself, they're gonna pull me out. I got 3 pounds of fucking weed in my trunk, or whatever the fuck it is.
So that's what that's what people should be. They say me too instead of shut up. You know what I mean?
You know, I'm not breaking the law, but they could. But there's some
That's a
fucking
good point.
ordinance.
I like that point. Instead of comparing about who's getting the privilege and who's
Right.
not,
I'm
just
not
say me too.
privileged.
Yeah.
Just say me
Me
too.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah.
The same fucking thing. I fucking hate cops.
Well,
I fucking hate them.
that's where it comes down. If we can relate on the level of trauma, our triggers are different. The mechanisms are the same.
My fucking heart drops. What do you think? You're special? Like somehow I see a cop, I'm like, high five,
Well,
high five. We're let's go drink.
How are you doing, officer?
I'll tell you what. I use that white privilege.
I got an extra
Yeah.
12-pack of crispy crepes for you.
I have more beer for you.
I'm telling you, I used it. I used it several. I pulled out.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm telling you that it exists. We don't have to go. It exists.
Not
Better
for me.
schools, better fucking
Oh,
neighborhoods.
that stuff exists. I mean, that's been going on from day one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm not.
We don't
So-
stop it by
so
stopping the
clearly
conversation.
I'm not calling
For what?
for a said privilege. I'm not sure because I don't get said privilege. I'm typically thrown into jail, told to fuck off, kicked out of my own house. I can give you story after story of getting fucked over by the cops.
Nobody.
Left and right.
There is a thing called
They
driving
treat
while
me
being
like
black,
shit.
and that's a real thing. Driving while being black. It's a real thing.
I've
It
never
happens.
Now, Stephanie, on the other hand, can tell you how many times she's gotten off tickets. You must be attractive enough that they let you off. I'm ugly enough that they don't let me off.
Well, you probably bitch
Stephanie
at him.
has tits this big.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play the game.
and
You know.
she, and by the way, she's never gotten a ticket in her entire life. Why? Because I think her tits are this big.
Well,
It's as simple as that.
Look, the cops are human too. So how you interact with that
No.
police officer is going to dictate the outcome.
Well, clearly
sometimes.
you must
N-
look
n-
like,
for me,
Brad
for the white person, for the black person.
Richard Gere's look-alike, stunt double.
So look, the black person, they're not far removed from where there was propaganda in school saying that they were fucking animals. Do you hear what I'm saying? There's propaganda in school saying that they were fucking animals. We're not far removed from that. We're a grandma away, right? So that trauma does not leave easily. So the kids that were indoctrinated that way, that even though they don't know it's there, it's still there. So the triggers, like the white lady that clutches the purse because she's scared. She's genuinely scared. She doesn't mean to be racist. You know what I mean? But she's heard some things. And so she's just reacting. And then we get all caught up in who we are. Like we take everything personal. And what Louise, what's his name? Miguel, the four agreements.
Yeah.
Don't take anything personally, because 9 times out of 10, when a person's reacting to you, they're reacting from their own inner self. And I know that too. I just went through this fucking exercise with this.
The unity will never happen if you continue to buy stock in the separation.
Right.
No separation.
No separation.
Period.
No separation.
We're all one. I mean, that's what Bob Marley and like that whole movement back then, like one love, one blood.
Yeah.
We're all one.
One love.
But you allow
Love it.
the powers to be, and you allow media and all these influential. I'm not just singling out you. I'm just saying, as in general, you were sold a fuck ton of programming throughout the years, which created this idea that we were separate from each other.
Totally fucking spot on.
And now, like, it's like, got to come back together.
And who
the power is in the Sangha. The power is always in the Sangha.
Who said we need to sit there and bank cash? Who said that?
Well, I think it became an idea.
I'm gonna say
so. If you go back,
you're mid-40s, right?
Yeah, 46. So if you go
46.
back,
I'm turning 46 tomorrow.
If you go back to, right after World War II, all the soldiers came home, baby boom started to happen. In that whole thing, you had a lot of inventions, and you had a lot of money, and you had a lot of people were making money, and you could get a good job, and you could do all this stuff, and you could send your kids to college on an assembly line type job. You had a pension, things was good. You was getting a new car every 4 years, all that stuff renewed. So in the baby boomer generation, they bought into this thing like that should be us too. Like we should be able to bank just like that. And so they did what their parents did, and they bought into this kind of way of life. And then as time grew on, you got into the 60s and you got into the 70s, and you're starting to realize that there are crinks in the machine. Like this shit ain't necessarily all healthy.
There ain't shit for me to do.
This ain't really
There
for
ain't
me.
shit for me to do.
I'm being controlled.
There
you
ain't
just
shit for
you
me
just
to
blew
do.
off 4 fucking kids' heads at Kent State. What the fuck is going on? And then you start and then you start separating some more. So then the ideology changed, but then all of a sudden you have 1980, and in 1980 it was like, man, everything just got super fucking fast, and we're all gonna fucking party and do a bunch of cocaine, and money was everywhere for a certain level of folk.
Up till what year?
I would say, like, I don't know, like the
2000.
a fuck ton of people got laid up. Yeah,
Today.
yeah. I would say like right around.
Today.
I'll tell you the thing that I think shifted the most when it came to money in this country and stuff and businesses. When Bill Clinton signed NAFTA, that was the dumbest fucking move you could have ever fucking done for the American people.
Well,
that was number one. Fuck you. I'm giving all my cheddar to fucking big business and the 1%, and you can go fuck yourself, little people, and all you small businesses, fuck you too, because guess what? I'm going to sign the North American Free Trade Agreement, and I don't give a fuck about you.
When the Clintons came in, that's when there was no hope left in the two-party system. I don't have a problem with the Clintons. I actually no, but they were shrewd politicians, and they said, and that you see all the candidates that were coming through the military industrial complex. You know what I mean? Like they're all the same family. You know, the Cheneys and the Bushes and the Ray. So that they're thinking we're never getting out from under this. We're gonna get some of that money too. We're gonna play that game, and I can sympathize with somebody who says, "I'm gonna play the game like Bernie. I'm gonna play the game within the system, and I'm gonna beat you."
No.
You know what I mean?
Well,
but
I mean, let's be
I'm
real.
not saying it's good.
Let's just be real. Bill was facing an impeachment, and all of a sudden, well, I'm just going to sign the North American Free Trade Agreement, and now, guess what? I'm not impeached. I'm still in office, motherfuckers. That's some bullshit.
It is bullshit, and it affects
But
everybody.
that's how it's run, and that's how it'll always be run.
No, then we're wasting our time if it's always going to be run like that.
You have to make. I'm not condoning violence, but you're gonna have to make a statement that's loud enough to get their fucking attention.
You take $56 billion out of their pockets in 1 month.
That's nothing.
That's loud. That's fucking loud.
I need something louder.
That's loud.
I need
Well, then
loud.
2 months, 3 months.
Sean, listen.
If we get 33 million people, we get 66.
Look, let's wrap this shit up. I want to smoke a cigarette.
All right.
Here's the issue. If you're asking for signups, okay,
That's it. Just signups right now.
it's very simple. Just sign up.
Right.
I guarantee privacy.
Yeah. Well, and let's end on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guarantee privacy.
He's the creator.
Here's the movement. Very simply put, we have to have 10% of the population to agree with what we're saying. And once we reach,
Here, let me say what we're saying.
Threshold.
What we're saying is we're asking a question. Do you agree with the way politics is run right now? If it's no, then join it because it's nonpartisan.
We're going to make sure that what Vince is asking is appropriate. My job as a technologist is to make sure that your information will never be viewed by anybody.
It's not
me.
It's not.
And even then, I don't care. I'm going to record it. You're going to be a statistic, and that's it. Once we get it's called a threshold. We have to get 33 million. That's the goal. Okay.
That's when we make impact.
That's impact zone.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing, that number doesn't scare me at all.
Doesn't scare me either. It scares me a little because I'm not you. That's why you're here.
Doesn't.
Yeah.
I deal with 300,000 today plus, easy, left and right every day. So 33 million. Yeah, I can do it.
You're giving me hope. Don't do that. Don't give me hope, man.
It's right there.
You can't come on
10X.
here and preach what you're preaching and then say, "Don't give me hope."
I'm being fucking facetious, motherfucker.
Well,
Sarcastic.
Think about it. They always say space is cheap, storage is cheap, transfer is cheap. They always say that. It's about having the right message, getting the right people, etc. Diddly-do.
Well, and here's the byproduct of this.
One versus 100. What's the difference?
Say we don't have 33 million, we don't reach our threshold, but we got 25 million like minds who know they're protected because they've gone through this with us and their information hasn't been sold. And they're on this social media platform that you're talking about designing that's safe from all that nonsense. What does that do to the mindset of that many people with that much impact? That's a huge thing. Now we can, okay, if we've got to jump back into this political system and change it, we'll do it. You know what I mean? But we'll have created a community of people with like minds, eclectic, that now we have an agenda. Now we have a voice. So the byproduct is we still have a voice.
Give me that one piece. Okay. So to all the people who are watching right now and are watching in the future, I want you to share with me, Vince, the message that you want to tell me. I believe in you, and I really do
believe in
think
us, man.
that us.
Yeah.
I believe in the movement.
We, the people.
We the people. I believe in us.
Yeah.
Right. And
Absolutely.
you, Sean, and everybody. Like I believe in us. I do. And let me say this: I'm inspired by you. Right. Then said I'm inspired. Like whatever. Truth be told, what we need to do as a community is to come together and do this as a movement.
A movement. That's all a movement is, right? It's got this stigma to it, but it's just we're moving in a direction together. That's all we're doing. We don't like the direction you're taking us, so we're going to move in this direction. If you want to still get paid and you want to still have that position, then you might want to move with us. It's a movement. We're not fucking bashing. It's not violence. We're not talking violence. We're not talking any of that. We're saying we're just not going to move with you anymore. Because we can't. You've stagnated us, and we want to grow, and that's our inalienable right as a human being. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's in the fucking Constitution. So we're going to take that route. And if you don't like it, well, you see how many taxpayers you got then. See how many consumers you got then. But we have to do it. We got to do it. And if we don't do it, it's our fault. We got the power right now through this little thing right here. We're in a basement in fucking Troy, Michigan right now. And they know, you know what I mean? Like, and we're talking about it freely because this is still the greatest country on the face of the planet. It still is. The guy, did you hear about the guy? Saudi Arabia just got arrested for writing tweets, and he went back to Saudi Arabia and they fucking arrested him. He's in prison now. What the fuck, man?
Well, maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
No, we should, because we're in America. We can still do this, you know, and that's the beauty of it, is that we are still America, and that piece of paper back there, that still matters. That's so if we get back to that, then we can include all the people. Oh, you going to smoke?
Check this out. This has been a fucking fantastic episode. You need to take a breath. I gotta take a piss.
Why not? People are always telling me to breathe.
I got to vomit.
All right, well, fine. I guess I'll fucking breathe in. Human condition. We got Jamie Mundy coming up with Liberty Monks. That should be fun. You've listened to some.
Can we get a hug?
Oh, we got to do this on camera.
Right?
A unity hug.
Hey, there's unity hug on the way out the door.
Come on. UNITY.
Hey, you guys hold up while we do this thing. This is why we need a tech guy. We need an intern. All right, this is human condition. You know it. We the people. WTP.online. We'll leave the information there. We just need your name. We don't need nothing else. Nothing else. Your information is protected. You're not getting fucked in with.
Never, ever sell, share, or submit your info to anybody. I will protect it like it's my own.
I know that for a fact because everybody that signed up so far, they're protected.
I care about them more than you.
And I know that for a fact. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. I'm a purist. I'm integrity. That's it. I'm a purist. I want truth.
I'm John Smith.
Give me liberty or give me death. You know,
John Smith. My name is John Smith.
give me liberty or give me death. That's where I'm at right now. I don't want. There's no in between. I'm not teetering anymore. Human condition. We'll be back. Who do we got? You'll find us.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys. Peace out.